Welcome to Granja Camito and the Pedroche Valley of Andalusia, Spain, where we still wait for the real rain to come. We've gotten some rain, but it was always a drizzle and not really a downpour.
In the shade it is some 24 degrees right now, and the corn, step by step, is getting dry. The sunflowers have suffered a little bit from the colder temperatures during the night, I would say. So these two here are not looking too good, but it might just be the natural cycle. The birds have picked all the seeds. So you can see this one here is pretty empty, but it's okay. This whole patch is full of life. So that's really nice. And we want to start cutting it from the outside carefully, basically by using some sort of scissors to lighten it up and chop the material as mulch before the frost comes. Of course, we don't know when the frost comes. It can be as far away as January. So we will see, but this is the current state of this experimental patch. There will be more straw and pellets, and after the upcoming rain next week they will get to taste some green grass in a small ration. Some of you made the suggestion to take them to A15, and yes, that is exactly what we're going to do. So I already answered that comment. He had the very same idea, so thank you. And this here, by the way, is turning into soil. That is where all the straw was, and you can see it is now turned a lot more earthen than it was before. So that is the investment for the future. And here we have the newest member of the herd. He understands to stay away from the big ones. In comparison, you can see that the calves from last round have grown big. Pretty big.
No se sale.
Allow me to introduce you to our shop. It is located at our website caimito.eu. One of the products is the world-famous Iberian ham. After preparation in the butcher shop, it is kept in a huge amount of salt for a while and then hung from the ceiling in climate-controlled ripening chambers for 3 to 5 years, depending on the size of the ham. People either buy a whole leg, which is between 6 and 10 kilos, or hand-cut slices that are vacuum-sealed in 100-gram pouches. As you can see in many of our videos, our pigs fatten themselves on acorns running around the land. The acorns give the ham a very nutty flavor, and after you took a bite, that flavor stays in the mouth for a while, just like with a good wine.
¿No clavando?
No, no clavo.
¿Por qué?
Pues lavo luego. Lo vamos pensando.
The guys are preparing this area now for seeding. The pigs have rooted up everything, and now we want to see how we can create an area with some forage for them. Elsewhere you can simply punch in these posts with your feet, but here, after a very few centimeters, it is already too hard, so we need to use a hammer. That will change when there is more rain, but for now, that is the way.
And no, the fence is not yet live. We are missing a segment that will be installed in a minute. So the plan here is to exclude this area to the left, and then we will seed. Tonight the rain starts, and we will also seed in those depressions and cover the seed with the straw. And also here in this area where they have not uprooted a lot, but the material is a little bit loose, so we can do something. And we have enough straw that they have not distributed yet, and that way we have enough to cover all the seeds. And the rain should also help. And if you look now here, this is really a moonscape. So they have made a lot of holes in the ground. Some are very deep, so the whole pig head can disappear. Let's see if I can find one very quickly without too much shaking camera. This is pretty deep. So the idea is to simply throw out the seed, use a rake to cover the seed. Partially the seed will fall into these holes and will be covered there. It doesn't really matter. And then we will see. Of course, we are very late for this. We wanted to do this early October, but there was no rain, so we now have to do it at this time. But it doesn't matter. Something will grow, and it might also be that the cold also comes later. That is to be seen. But in any case, we throw out a seed and some plant will develop, and it is more biomass than just the seed. So it's never a loss. In our case, we are not looking for a harvest. We are looking to improve the soil. And I should mention what we are going to seed. So there's daikon radish, there is turnip, and there is, how it's called? It's coal in Spanish, and also sounds the same way in German. Yeah, that's the problem with all the different languages in my head. Sometimes I don't know the word or forget it. Yeah, so it's that leafy brassica. Maybe now you know. I may add a subtitle to tell you what the name of the thing is. Cabbage. Cabbage is the name. So we have the giant cabbage that grew very well over there in the holding area. And so these three we have available, and that is what we are going to seed here. And maybe a little bit later we will extend this and seed on the other side. So this is basically a third of the whole area. It is 6,600 square meters in total. So this is a sort of this, and it should do something. That electric spiral down there is well respected. There's a lot of straw, and here in this area where they did not root up the soil, and we therefore have not a lot of material to cover the seed, the technique is to cover it with that straw. So first it gets placed and then distributed.
Ah, que me la da porque está blanca.
Claro, porque estorbaba.
And that straw should also help with retention of moisture, so that definitely what gets seeded can germinate and finds the right soil climate for it.
Así, ¿no? Más no, ¿no? Así, ¿no?
Of course this work is slow, and a tractor would be a lot more efficient. Problem is we don't have one. And we might actually get a mini tractor, almost like a lawnmower, that type. But let's see how this works. And maybe it goes a lot faster and more efficient when we come to the area where the pigs have uprooted. This is just plan B, because here they didn't.
¿Has dado eso ya?
Y opinar, ¿no?
¿Eh? ¿Has dado esto?